Life it's a journey of self-discovery from the day of our first breath to the day of our last. It's about really discovering who we are at our core. Welcome to Energetics with Kim and Veronica, where we invite you to nourish the energy of your inner why, your inner healing, magic, prosperity, your curiosity, clarity, playfulness. Welcome home. Today we're going to talk about wisdom and discerning between your own wisdom versus receiving from others and how to navigate that. I'm Veronica, and I'm joined by my partner, Kim. Hi, Kim.
Hello, Veronica. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. And thank you for being here.
Kim and I, through our journey, have followed many leaders in this space of self-development, human potential, spirituality, manifestation, all the things. And we've really benefited from a lot of the people that we've received from, people that led in certain aspects, that were, had been at something longer or been at something in a different way that we hadn't been at. And so we've really benefited from everyone who's walked the same path in their own way. And it's also an interesting contemplation, though, to think about, where are you aligning too much to someone instead of relying on your own wisdom?
I love this conversation. This is such a good one. I mean, yeah, you and I are always, well, often, for me, I can almost say always, in some type of program. I think you are too, aren't you? Yeah, she's shaking her head yes for those that are.
Always.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not because, for me, it's not because I can't connect to all that is on my own. That's not why I like to be in different programs, in different circles, and different communities. For me, it's because, oh my God, it's like somebody can say something and it can make my whole system go. Things that make you go, right? It can be something that makes me go, wow, I never thought about that. And then I can kind of be with that and let it take on a life of its own. So it's not that, oh, that's how you do it. And it's written in stone. And now I'm going to put it in a little box and label it. That's how you do it. Right? It's where you go, oh, sheesh. I never even thought about that. And now when I be with it, it's like, ooh, I can let it take on a life of its own. And what is my thing with that? So for me, it's an inspiration. And I'm hoping that as people are listening to us, it's not that they're getting from us that this is how you do life. Dear God, right? It's for me, it's more about if we can inspire somebody to have their own little, oh my God moment, their own little thing that they can actually apply in their lives and tweak it and twist it and make it something totally different than what we're sharing, but find a way to make it work for them. That's what I'm all about when I'm listening to all these other, speakers. And I am pretty particular, let me say, about whom I choose to jump in a class or a community with as well.
For sure. I would say, like, one of our pillars, if we had pillars, Kim, and maybe we do, one of the pillars of the work that we offer is that we really want everyone to find their own truth. And that truth is going to be different for every single person. It's not about, I'm going to prescribe to you exactly what's worked for me, and now you're going to take it and translate it. And, it's about, where can we find our own truth in this whole journey, and where can we be an allowance and acceptance and reverence of our own truth, and the same reverence for others. And so as we look at the mentors, the teachers, the facilitators that we've worked with over time, and we can really appreciate the things that they've shared with us and that they've ignited in us, it's not only the things that we click with, it's also the things that we don't click with, right? It's like there's facilitators where it's like, I love what she just said. And it's like, that's not me at all. Like what she just said. And that's the beauty of it, right? It's an awakening of the truth within me. I can really admire and love and respect someone, and then they can say something that doesn't resonate for me at all. I don't throw away the teacher, the leader, the facilitator. I'm like, ooh, that's an awakening in a different way. And so, where can we be with all of it and just really stay true to ourselves through that whole discovery and uncovering?
Yeah. And you know what? Yeah, I love that you brought in the piece of, yeah, it's not about throwing the baby out with the bathwater, right? Because I mean, guess what? We're going to say stuff in our energetics podcast that make people go, I can't believe they just said that. Guess what? We did. Right. And so it's gonna be like that for everybody. I think that is the beauty of sharing what's true for you. And on that note, it's like that's all these people are doing. That's what we're doing, is sharing what's true for us. And they're sharing what's true for them. And we get to have an alignment with it. We get to have an aha moment with it. Let it take on a life of its own, as I said, for us. And it's like passing the baton, like what you and I do here, Veronica, right? Like I'll say something and then you'll run with it and then I'll run with it. And it's like that. It's like a conversation, yet, often online, it's a one-way conversation because you're typically listening. However, what if the conversation is more on an inner space? So somebody says something, then my conversation with myself, if you will, is my contemplation, is my aha, is my own little ooh la la with it. And again, letting it do its thing, letting it's doing its thing. And like you said, it's not about agreeing with what everybody says. And there is no how. There is no how. It's leaders leading leaders leading leaders, shoulder to shoulder. And we're all leaders. And we're just hanging out. And so it's not about, I have some people who are like, no, I don't want to be influenced by anybody. And I'm like, that's great. That's what works for them. For me, I love soaking in the energy and the vibe and the consciousness of humanity and, all the thoughts and the feels and the ahas. And some people are like, I don't want to be influenced by anybody. I want to make sure it's all coming from me. Okay, cool. There's no wrong way to do this. And so if somebody's hearing us talk about this, then they're probably open to listening to others as well. Or they might not be here.
Right. Absolutely. And it's almost like life, right? Like life is it's a journey of self-discovery from the day of our first breath to the day of our last. It's about really discovering who we are at our core. And so whether we're listening or, participating with other people or we're on our own, life is reflecting back to us the good, the bad, the ugly, and then we discover ourselves through that. And it's very similar when we're following or listening to speakers and leaders in this space. It's the exact same thing. We're discovering ourselves through their words, through their experience, and we're like, yeah, that's cool, let me explore that a bit. Oof, that doesn't feel good, that's not me. And it's a dance for life. I don't personally believe that most of us were meant to be completely isolated from others. I think that we're
Mm.
all beautiful mirrors of what's available and possible to us, and we can just look at it as an exploration. But sometimes there are times where we really like somebody or we really feel influenced by their words or by what they're sharing, and sometimes we marry ourselves to it a little bit too tightly. And so that's something to be really mindful of always checking in and staying true to yourself. Because, unfortunately, in this industry, there can be a lot of influence, and just like any industry, there can be some bad intentions, right? So it's all about coming back to your own truth.
I love that. And like you said, it's about trying it on. It's like, do I even want to try on? No. Look at that shirt over there. Do I want to try that on? No. Right. And so it's not about, it's a one size fit all at all. And it's like my shirt might not fit you and your shirt might not fit me. Doesn't mean I don't like your shirt. Right. And so it isn't a one size fits all. So it is about, and I don't know if I would use the word influence in this case? What do you think? Like, is it an influence or is it just seeing what's there as a possible inspiration?
Yeah.
And if that is also an influence, then perhaps you could use. I don't know if I know if the word influence in this context. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, maybe more of like a contemplation, like it sparks a
Mm-hmm.
contemplation. That's probably like the healthy space for it to be in, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
you listen to others and it sparks contemplation for yourself, and then you can really find your own truth in it. And it's almost like being sometimes it's almost like being a kid at a candy store when you really love this type of conversation. It's like it's exciting to hear these different contemplations and these different sparks of wisdom and different life stories and how people have navigated it and what's come through. It's like it's so like for me that's what it is. It's like my soul's at a candy
Yeah.
store.
Yes, I love that. Or like at first time at a Toys R Us store. It's not like you have to pick one thing. Right? Like for me, like I know you as well, Veronica, like we've explored so many different things. And in the moment it was like the ooh la la but it doesn't mean that I've really done anything with it. So I don't get to judge me for maybe I really enjoyed it, but I didn't do anything with it. So what? Right, so what? And so yeah, so and I also love that you brought in the piece of yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there, like for me, if I was to listen to, and I don't so-called follow very many people, I just don't. However, I think I learned a long time ago that if somebody is suggesting that this is the way, or how you this is the how, I think that's when I had to recognize, oh, that's their way. Doesn't mean that has to be my way. And so, yeah, I think that would be how the word influence can show up. Like I was sharing with you, I don't know, did I share this on the last call about, there was a lady sitting here at one of my sessions and she was shuffling and I know she'd giggle about me sharing this, so it's okay. She was shuffling a deck of cards, and she was shuffling and shuffling and shuffling some more. And then she said, yes, I know I'm supposed to wait until a card falls out on its own. Oh, I said, no, that's a way to do it. That happens, but it's not the way to do it. That is a way to do it. And so yeah, so somewhere somebody had told her that, and so that was an influence on her. So she thought that was the way. That's how you pick a card. And so it was like, yeah, that is a way. There's many ways. You can shuffle till you don't and just pick a card. Or yeah, sometimes one falls out. There is no one way to do it. And so that's what we're suggesting about influence. It's like there's no way. Oh my God, there's no way for anything really. Is there? Like, I wonder what would be, don't go there. What could be something in the world that there is a way? Okay, we all know to stop at a red light. Okay, so there are some things, right?
Self-preservation. Yeah, but also like you've been doing sessions for decades and group ceremonies and one-on-one and the evolution of how you like open the ceremony or how you open the session versus how you
Mm,
close it, right? Whereas sometimes folks might think there's like a prescribed way to like how to open it, how to close it, right?
right. You're right. Yeah, 100%. And guess what? How I did it a year ago can be different than how I do it now, because otherwise I'm now boxing my own. That is the way. No, that is the way today. That's how that is a way today, not the way today. So that's how I did it today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't mean tomorrow's a brand new day. And as Mary A. Hall, I loved it when she taught us that. She would say, today is a brand new day, and I get to be brand new in it. I don't know if that,
That's it.
anyway, I
That's it.
always love that.
Yeah.
I always love that. There was such an awesome newness
Mm-hmm.
uh, to that. And anyway, so yeah, so it's like that. It's like, yeah, what's actually true for me today, because I was influenced, if you will, or inspired by somebody yesterday, then that can change today, because if I'm willing to let it take on a life of its own, and allow it to continue to take on a life of its own, of course it's going to become something different and expanded and beyond what I ever thought possible. Because, if this is what I've made it mean, I've just kind of put it in a cage without more possibilities to show up. And so, yeah, so it's being inspired. Like, you inspire me, Veronica. You really, really inspire me. I want you to know that.
Thank you, and vice versa, my friend.
Thank you. I mean, you were one of those people who, you know what, you were in corporate world, and when you opened up to this kind of stuff, consciousness, spirituality, energy work, all the different things, you didn't decide that the corporate world was a place that you no longer belonged. You found your own belonging in it. You didn't, this is who I am over here and that's who I am over there. No, you became you in both worlds. And I love that about you. That's hugely inspiring, hugely inspiring.
Thank you. That's
So
another great
thank,
yeah, thank you for that. And that's another great example of where, we could be influenced by others, right? Where we could say, okay,
oh
well,
my God.
how many folks are finding spirituality and then decide that corporates, no longer, something that they can participate in, instead of like, well, why don't I
Right.
just find my own path, and what might it look like for me? I think contemplation is really key, right? So really going in, if folks aren't comfortable with knowing their own truth because it's, maybe something that they haven't played with much, like it's really like that contemplation. How does it feel for me? What might be true for me? And just, asking those questions can begin to allow you to really contemplate your own truth and to really solidify that knowing within you.
Yeah. And it's not like, if I remember, I don't know what it's like now. It's not like you went into the corporate world once you had your own remembering and preached it, tried to get everyone else to do it. You just were you. You just were you. And you didn't, like I said, you didn't make it a wrongness to be there or anything like that. You just found a way to be there. And that, like I said, that is inspiring. That is, what is the word? So you're right. Like, a lot of people will get into this stuff and leave the corporate world. Imagine if more people stayed. Oh my God. Like, do you think it's possible corporate world might change a little bit? Right? Like, taking that light into the corporate world without making it so-called wrong, seeing the things, because you saw a whole bunch of things and you worked with the energy of, okay, how can I don't think it was that you were looking to change it, but you were like, okay, how can I be with this? And magic just started showing up for you, snap of the fingers, right? And so, yeah, I really think that, like, with us listening and following, like, that's where we met, was in a program, right? And without keeping that cup full. I think that's what I want to say about it. For me, it helps me to keep my cup full on all the energetics and all the possibilities and all of that, because the world can be pretty, like, not that. Right. And so it really, really helps me to meet people like you, to be with people like you, but also to have that remembering within myself of the possibilities outside of what's going on out there in the world. So it helps me to connect on that inner level to other possibilities. So I think that's what I was trying to say in all this.
I love it. I think it's a great conversation. And a beautiful contemplation for folks as you're like dabbling. If you're new to these types of conversations, or if you've been around here forever, there's so many brilliant people. And how fortunate are we that we have the technology that we do, that we can have these conversations to the extent that we can, where we couldn't even do that 20 years ago, 40 years ago, right? It was all very, isolated in pockets, and now we get exposure to all of it. So it's such a beautiful gift that we have, and it also is an opportunity for us to really get clear on our truth.
Yeah. And be with others of like heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a blessing.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yay.
Thank you
I
so
love
much,
you.
everyone. I love you too. Like, subscribe, comment. We'll take it all. We will receive. It's
Share.
share. It's very helpful to us. So thank you so much. And until next time.
Ta ta for now.